Welcome to yet another episode 6 of Who Lied to You podcast. I'm your host, Jocelyn Kajumba, together with
Flavia Rita Bavidia.
It's like this in school, and now they're going to hear me. I'm going to start selling bags, shoes. I'm going to start selling your shoes.
Daddies.
Which target?
Be like a beggar.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking like I don't have money. Bambi munyambe mugule to be here. So much. I thank God.
Actually, earlier on, when someone told me they're doing business, my mind would go, failure.
Yeah.
Failure in life. Actually, you would even talk about this person that when you're trying to perform a business,
Like it's the what thing.
there is
People in Chikubo, like we already said, they'll tell you, guy, I need what you just said. And yet, man, you Peter.
yes.
Actually, I've heard of that.
Some take it up.
Some technician of doing business. It's actually an authentic way of making money. Either trying to fleece people off, trying to date men for money, trying to
cut them to account. And when will the finances come in? Will I get money? Will I get paid? Will I get money the right time? With the words of a great man, colleagues, money will come. Money will.
This introduces you to certain things that you will not do if you're doing a job, probably.
For those of you who are new to the podcast, please subscribe, like, share, and for those that are returning, welcome back. Today, we are going to talk about business. The myth, we are going to bust the myth of businesses are for those people that did not go to school. If you relate with this, please, like we said, like, share, comment. So Flavia, about this myth, about businesses are for people who did not go to school. Growing up, what did you hear about businesses?
Thank you so much. Growing up, yes, something I heard about businesses was businesses are for people who didn't really go to school, the uneducated kind of people. And I think that is one of the things that pushed our parents to take us to school. I think back then probably there were not so many schools as there are right now.
Yeah.
So those who didn't manage to go to school anyway ended up going into business. And so it was an understandable thing happening
By
back
then,
then.
yeah.
Yes. So growing up, I saw my dad, my mom do all they could to take us through the good schools in the country. But I think they were only trying to cure that you know what, never end up in business. Businesses are for people who didn't go to school. Like it is a second option. The first option is going to school. When you fail to go to school, then you can run to business as a second alternative. So I know that for sure it is a myth that has been told several times, not only to us, but to so many other people out there, especially those in our age bracket.
Yeah.
Yes. And bringing it to the current situation, when I started my businesses about 4 years ago, that is something that I struggled with. You know, I didn't want to come out and announce that I'm doing businesses or that I've started a business, A, B, and C. I remember I did about 2 businesses in hiding. Okay, not really in hiding, but I never really went out to announce them the way I've announced these other businesses I've done the past 4 years. But what was really holding me back was because of that myth that, you know what, businesses are but don't really go out there in the business world. So I remember holding back. I did 2-3 businesses before these other ones that I've done, but I would rarely advertise. I would rarely talk about them. I wasn't so proud of myself doing them because at the back of my mind, businesses are for uneducated people. And today, as we bust this myth, the people I'm really speaking to and the people we really want to speak to are those who are chasing careers. You've probably gotten a job and you want to run a side business.
Yeah.
But you're stuck up with this thing of how do they see me? Doing a business. Like, how can they see me? But also for those people who are looking for jobs or to tell you that you can release yourself from this myth. You can release yourself from this lie that businesses are just for people who didn't go to school. So for me, that has been my experience. And I'm happy that we're talking about this today. Yes. So I don't know if you know any uneducated people who are running businesses in this Kampala. And truly, we all relate to it. We know that a lot of people downtown.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you that people in Chikubu as well. But you could also give us your experience from what you've seen as a person who is not doing business. What has been your feel about this entire thing and all that?
Definitely the stigma. The stigma of, I was like this in school and now they're going to hear me. I'm going to start selling bags.
Shoes.
I'm going to start selling your shoes.
Daddies.
Yeah. So you're like, no, I'm not about to do that. I'm not about. I think that it comes back to your reputation. You're like you say, it's banned, but yeah. So for me, that has held me back. Unless it's like that type of business where it's like a very respectable business. Maybe it still connects to the kind of work that you do.
Oh yeah.
Then maybe it's maybe let's say if you are a lawyer and then you start your own farm, your own little farm.
Yes.
Then that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yes. So really, I'm still struggling with the whole setting up my own business because it's I mean I'm still people pleasing. In that I say I'm still people pleasing, but being around you has actually helped me open up my eyes and open up my mind to the idea of actually going for business.
Yeah. So I remember as well, like I said, when I started oil therapy and then ran into packaging hub, Uganda, that's something I deeply struggled with. Like I felt like, how can they see the economist in me?
Yeah.
Who works where I work? Saying I'm selling. I mean, at a certain point, I remember at a certain point where I worked in the bank before I even got the job where I am at right now. At a certain point, me and my friend, we had some extra money. And we said, let's buy bags. We bought bags. We bought, I think, sunglasses.
Yeah.
I think we bought some nice girly things. But we never advertised them.
Yeah.
We'd only sell to our people in the bar, those who know, those who are around us. But posting them on status and telling people that totally is was unheard of. So even when I started selling, even when I started oil therapy, I struggled with it. I labored with it. But at the back of my mind, I said, you know what? Go for it. Just do this. Just let people know that you're doing this. And so for me, it released me, gave me confidence. But the system of posting on social media every day now also made me feel like a beggar.
Yes.
Like I'm looking like, I don't have money. Bambi munyambe mugule interview.
Like in the back of a business, Mumas.
Exactly. Like it really felt like begging. Like I'm making a loud announcement there that I'm broke and I need you guys to support my business. Like I need you guys to buy from me. Like it kind of ate me up, but I still went over it. But that's the notion that I had in me that businesses, I need to have the thing is that you have to come out of school, get a job, and
Yes.
no one tells you to come out of school and do business. No one. They tell you make use of your degree and then, but no one ever talks about, you can actually finish and then do business. So I struggled with that, but I thank God here we are now, 4 years later.
Yeah, we are.
And I am happy I chose to do both the career and business. Yeah, so I'm more than just a career woman, and that is amazing.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Thank you so much. I thank God.
Yeah.
Really.
Actually, earlier on, when someone told me they're doing business, my mind would go, failure.
Yeah.
Failure in life. Oh, so actually, you would even talk about this person that when you attend to call a business. Because was it a business? Like,
Yeah.
and you're like, but actually, thinking that business is like a shortcut, but not knowing that the 9 to 5 is the easy part.
Oh yeah.
The business, you have to, it's 24/7.
Yes, you have to. You think you have about it.
Exactly that. Where am I going to get the clients? Where am I going to? It's in the money. First thing it got to supply. Yeah. So to all the businessmen and women out there, props.
Yeah. So I feel like the generation we're living in now, we need to move past that myth. We need to look at it as something that anyone can do, both educated and uneducated. But however, of recent, we see more affluent people actually doing businesses.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when I hear of a person and they're announcing her as the CEO of a certain company, and this company is probably not theirs. Let me talk about the CEOs of banks. We know that these banks, they are owned by some rich men somewhere probably, or an organization or a church.
Yeah.
They're not owned by the CEO. Not. So sometimes when they announce a CEO of a certain bank, I'm like, okay. Then they announce Flavia as the CEO. I'm like, okay, now there's a difference,
Yeah.
This is actually my company. I'm not like this. I'm not doing this for someone else, So for me, I've switched that to that. I've switched that myth or that entire statement to look at myself as, wow, you're actually building something for yourself. You're not building someone else's thing. You've not been hired to build another person's dream, like they say. So for me, it's encouraging. It's really encouraging.
It should be encouraging.
And for me, it has helped me move past the fear of Banda Babacha being a career and then also running businesses. I'm like, you know what? I am building my thing. I am building my own businesses. I'm not being hired by someone to build theirs.
Yeah.
So for me, it released me. It released me so much. And I thank God.
But it also takes strength to build, because for us, the 9 to 5, it comes easy.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the month, you're getting a salary.
Yeah.
But now for you have to work for that cent. You have to work for that 1,000. You have to. So more efforts, sleepless nights, then social media, advertising.
Trust me, you also have what you do on a 9 to 5. You probably just don't see it, but it could actually be more than what we do on this other side.
Yeah.
As a CEO particularly, yes, because at this level now you can hire a manager. I don't run around anymore that much, especially now that businesses have grown. Yes, but of course we all go through those. So there are stages. So there are the pros and cons for every choice you make, whether you decide to be an employee or you decide to become an employer, like the business people do. So anyway, I think most of the buildings we have in Kampala, we know that they're owned by people who probably didn't go to school.
Yeah.
Right? People in Chikubo, like we already said, they will tell you, guy I met Saoche just said, the neta man is Ziba and Peter.
Yes.
I've heard of that. Someone says, mugaga wange yapita ne mubalira sente n'ensitola mu banka ne ola ki, like
tamalina luzungu oba agenda kwogera ne bainvesita ayitanze.
Exactly. So we know that it has been true for some time. It has really been true. I think even when I worked in a bank, I met so many of these rich men. I used to work in a downtown branch of that side, and you'd see these men coming in with money, rich. But you know what?
Yeah.
I would have to be the one to write for them the deposit slip, and you respect them because they have your money, and you're like, you know what, I'll also provide the service that is required of me. But I think time has come for us to now bust this myth and say, you know what, don't fear starting business. If you feel it in you, don't fear to, if the jobs are not coming your way, don't fear to start a business. Sell your handbags, sell your shoes, sell whatever comes to you if you feel led to do it. I emphasize the bit of being led because for me, that is what gives me a lot of courage to go. Yeah, so if you feel led to do it, please go ahead and do it. Pray over your businesses and do what you have to do. I think I even read somewhere, it said, you know what, business is actually a more authentic way of making money other than trying to fleece people of money, So let's not be ashamed of doing business. It's actually an authentic way of making money, other than trying to fleece people off, trying to date men for money, trying to
cut them.
trying to. It is a very authentic way of making money, other than fleecing people, embezzling funds, dating men and women for money. All these things, like, it's a more authentic way. It is a more feasible way of making money. So let's not fear to do business, really. Let's go over ourselves. Let's go over the fears and the lies that we've been told and do things the way we are supposed to.
And if you're scared,
do them.
If you're scared of the, when will the finances come in? Will I get money? Will I get paid? Will I get money the right time? With the words of a great man, colleagues, money will come. Money will come.
Yes, money will come. It does come with time. It does come with time. It requires some bit of patience and persistence, but it comes. And really, and if we turn this around, it is good to be educated to actually do business.
Yeah.
It is good to do business when you're actually an educated person. You realize that you come with a different kind of skill on table. You come with some expertise in certain things. You come with a different understanding that someone who hasn't been to school won't have. People who are educated come with certain disciplines embedded in them because of going through a system of schooling that you come with and carry into a business. So you find that through secondary school, you studied commerce, you studied accounting. So these are skills you can now reapply in your own business, right? Then if you've come from school and maybe you've come out with a low degree or something, now you can actually represent a business.
You can do the paperwork.
Yeah, you can do the paperwork of a company and earn money from it. You realize that in school, you will learn how to maybe market a product, which you will not find when you start a business. But you need to have this information for hand. If you didn't go to school, you actually wouldn't have it. So there are so many other skills that you come with if you're educated into business, other than actually doing business when you're uneducated. So it is important to also know that it is for your good that you're actually educated to do business. And if you're educated, you actually come on table with much more than someone who has not been educated. They will fumble through certain things, which you may not fumble through. You will have certain disciplines that you may not. You'll have a level of organization that you will not have if you're not. If then for them, as uneducated people, are not exposed to. So it works both ways. Please know that education is good for business. And so,
plus also, there are those natural things that you're good at that are not taught in school.
Yes.
And you can use that actually to do a business.
That's true.
Yeah, because for me, friends tell me and people around me tell me that I'm very good. I'm a social butterfly. Like, I can talk to anyone. I can make anyone comfortable. If we go to a conference and I know there's a panel of UNICEF, World Bank, and I want to talk to those people,
you'll find your way.
Find a way.
That's what education gives you. It gives you that confidence.
Yes.
That you will not find if I'm lacking in something.
Now, let me tell you something. All the places that I've worked, I have never applied for a job.
Oh, yeah.
I have never applied for a job. I go to spaces. I introduce myself.
Yeah.
Of course, I charm them. I'm like, oh my God, the work that you're doing, it speaks to me, blah, blah, blah. And then, before you know it, someone is like, oh, there's this opportunity.
We need someone
like you. So, yes, maybe I studied, but the books did not actually get me in the room. It's my personality. And some people are good at certain skills. So you can use those skills, market them, make them, get you the side business, get you some side money.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking of how to make networking get me money. So if you have an idea, please let me know in the comment section how you can make networking get me some money, because I think I'm good at it. So also to the young people out there who are trying to get into businesses, and maybe you're like, what should I do? Where should I start? And I'm talking to the young people, not those ones that call Monday Balaza. If you want to, there are people out there and you want to start, you're like, what should I do? Think of the good things that come easily.
Your strengths.
Yes. What do people say about you? What is it that you're good at? What comes easily? And then find a way, find someone out there on internet, wherever, who is actually doing that as a business and model that.
Yes.
But put in your own personality to it.
Yes. That's very, very important. Thank you for that. And with that, if you start like that and you do that, do a SWOT analysis. Figure out your strengths, figure out your weaknesses, figure out the opportunities that are there for you around your strengths, and then any threats that could stop you from doing what you want to do, and then find a way of building a business around that. But anyway, I did want us to finish this episode without telling you about the advantages of doing business in Uganda. There are several advantages of doing business in Uganda and wherever in the world you may be. And for me, the biggest benefit that it has brought for me is the personal growth. The personal growth. I've been forced and pushed to grow to levels that I didn't know that I would, or I didn't even think that I had in me, that I could get to that. So it has pushed me in certain corners. Even just doing this podcast, by the way, is I can't believe I'm the one doing this.
Sorry to cut you off. Ladies and gentlemen, by the way, Flavia won the NSSF what? That one. She won. She was the winner. That one. She won because of business.
So yes, you see, business introduces you to certain things that you will not do if you're doing a job, probably. For me to actually push myself to do the NSSF competition for that funding, I didn't know I had it in me. I totally didn't know. But because of the personal growth that it has caused in me, I told myself, you know what, you can actually do this. Go ahead and push for it. And luckily, I got it. So business comes with those advantages. For me personally, personal growth is very major for me. And you need to know that a business can't grow beyond the owner. To the extent of growth of the owner, that's the extent to which your business can grow. So it won't grow past what I am. It will only be as much as I am or less than myself. So if I don't grow personally, then the business won't.
Keep on learning.
So I keep on learning all these kind of things. But anyway, let me summarize the advantages of doing business in just 1-2 sentences. Business will make you wealthy. And wealthy, I'm not talking about just financial wealth. It's going to make you socially wealthy. You'll be invited into rooms that you never thought you'd sit in, with people you never thought you'd sit in with. Let me brag a little. About 2 years ago,
please,
the Minister of Investment came to my business to actually see what we do, and she wanted to buy some products from us. That is Anite, the Honorable Anite, the Minister of Investment. And later when we meet at a party, and I ignored her. I tried to avoid her just to, because I didn't think she would remember me. She called me out and said, I remember you. I'm like, you remember me? She's like, yes, your business at Senana.
Yeah.
I was amazed. So this is what I'm talking about, that it will grow your wealth in more ways than just financially. You'll get money. Yes. You'll make losses as well. Yes. You'll make, it's a no-brainer. But also it will introduce you to certain spaces and people that you probably never thought you would meet in this life. And all. Then mental, it's going to grow your mental capacity as well, because every other day there's a new thing to learn about your business. But also because you don't work in a bubble, you need to know how the world economics is going, how the trade economics is. So you're forced to learn these things. The AIs that we have now, I'm forced to learn all sorts of AIs now because I need my social media done in a certain way. I need the graphics done. I need graphs analysis, market analysis done for my business. I use AIs, really. So the social as well, the intellectual, still mental, it will help you. Spiritually, I have been drawn in as well, because I wake up in the morning and I have to pray for myself, my businesses as well, have to feature in those prayers. So it has stretched me in ways that I never thought. It has helped me acquire wealth in all these different areas and stuff like that, even physically, health-wise. Because I know I need to keep well. I need to take care of myself in order to serve in my businesses the way I want to. So we can't exhaust the benefits of doing business. We really, really can't exhaust. But it is imperative that you don't hold yourself back. Let no lie hold you back. Release yourself. If you feel it in you to do a business, release yourself, do it. market the thing until people get tired of seeing your statuses. At least for me, every time someone sees me, they'll talk about an oil because they know what? Flavia sells oils. Even if they don't buy from me, they'll at least ask me, how is business going? You're like, yeah, business is good. So that means you notice, right? It is enough for me.
Also, that's how is business going if you're not supporting. Continue.
That's true. But it is good enough to know that you're seeing, you actually recognize that Flavia is doing business. And also, don't be held back by the lie that business is a soma. If you want to do your business, if you feel it in you, if you want to start a side hustle beside your full-time job, trust me, if I can do it, you can. If we can do it, you can. Whatever we can do, you can do as well. Don't hold yourself back. So that is it from us on this episode. We thank you so much for joining us. Please remember to like, follow, and subscribe to our YouTube channels and Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Yes, we've already mentioned.
Yeah. Catch you on the next one.
See ya. God bless you.